If you could make your very own monster, what would it be called, and how would it make sounds?
So, if I could make my own monster with absolutely no restrictions, I don't know what it would be called because I'm not good at names, but I would 100% use the bagpipes.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that is fun.
100% use the bagpipes.
100% use the bagpipes.
Bagpipes.
Bagpipes. Bagpipes. Bagpipes.
I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations!
I did it.
Happy Monstering, and welcome to another episode of My Singing Monsters Live, your one-stop shop for everything to do with My Singing Monsters. We are your hosts, Monster Handler Matt.
And Monster Handler Sydney.
Sydney, you're back. Hello.
It's me. Hello.
You've been away for a couple of weeks. I quite like your earrings. Can you show them to everyone? Oh, they sort of look like grapes. Clap for grapes. Clap for grapes. Very good, very good. We've got an exciting show planned for you today, episode number 58. If I'm not mistaken.
And it's a big one.
Yes, it has been a monumental week for My Singing Monsters and My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire. There's so much we want to talk about today. Lots of exciting items of interest to get to. But the first thing that we need to do on any episode of My Singing Monsters Live is discuss how giveaways are going to work. Because every single episode has giveaways. We got two giveaways planned for today. We've got our subscriber giveaway first, and then our general giveaway happening at the end of the episode. So, Sydney, why don't you explain to us how the subscriber giveaway works?
So, we do a subscriber giveaway every episode.
Yes, we do.
And as the name suggests, to be entered in that giveaway, you have to be subscribed to our Twitch channel.
Ah.
So, if you can subscribe, please do. And did you know that if you have an Amazon Prime account, that you automatically get a free Twitch Prime subscription that you can use on any channel? But why not use it on ours?
Yes, the Big Blue Bubble TV channel here on twitch.tv.
Yes, because being a subscriber comes with lots of perks, lots of awesome emotes.
It's an ad-free experience, if I'm not mistaken.
And I'm sure Monster Handler Eric, say hi, Eric. Monster Handler Eric is in the chat.
Hi, Eric.
And I'm sure he'll be using lots of these subscriber-only emotes that we can offer, an ad-free experience, and of course, as we said, you get entered into the subscriber giveaway. And what's great about that is you don't even have to be watching to be entered in the giveaway each episode.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Monster Handler Sydney. I could be in school. I could be at my job. I could be
in the south of France.
otherwise indisposed and unable to watch the episode of My Singing Monsters Live, and I'd still be entered into this subscriber giveaway.
You got it.
Well, okay.
No,
this is hypothetical.
not you.
There's Monster Handler Michael giving me sass from behind the camera, as he usually is wont to do. Hi, everyone. Say hi, Michael. So we got the whole crew here today. So you've explained the subscriber giveaway, and oftentimes the prize that the subscriber giveaway gets is related in some way or another. Oh, there he is. Is related in some way or another to the content that came out or that was highlighted or featured that particular week. And this week is no exception. The winner of today's subscriber giveaway is going to be receiving that Faerie quad element monster, Platy. Platy.
And of course, magical monsters, harder to breed than your typical natural monsters.
Especially a quad element monster.
So a magical quad, definitely a helpful prize.
Yes, definitely a worthy prize. 600 diamonds in the market on Faerie Island, and you'll be getting it absolutely free. Who am I speaking to right now? I'll give you a drum roll, Sydney, and you can announce.
The winner of today's subscriber giveaway is the one, the only, Big Shrub.
Congratulations, Big Shrub. You get a free Platy.
And I think we may have your friend code already.
There's nothing better than a free Platy.
You heard it here first.
The frugal Scots. Och, aye. Yes.
Now, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Big Shrub, I think we have your friend code already, but if we do not...
Oh my goodness. Michael's tectonic shifting the view.
There's an earthquake!
If we do not have your friend code, please whisper message us, and we will deliver your Platy next week. Yeah.
Yes,
so congratulations.
It's that easy. All right, and then secondarily, additionally, antithetically, no, that's not correct. We also have our general giveaway, and that you need to be watching. You do need to be tuned in to this particular episode here on Twitch, but it's as simple as putting !raffle, R-A-F-F-L-E, in the chat, and you will be automatically entered. You need only enter once, and you will automatically be in the running.
Yeah, you can say raffle how many times you want, but it still only enters you once.
And what are they going to win? Well, keep that a secret until the end of the program.
What could it be?
We keep that a secret until the end of the program, but I'm sure there are some guesses as to what's the content of that prize, and perhaps it is related in some form to the items of interest that we need to discuss today, Monster Handler Sydney.
Wouldn't that be funny if it was related to that? So, we have lots to discuss today.
We do. Where shall we begin? Let's go in chronological order.
Yes. So it all began on, was it Wednesday?
Well, yes, we had our YouTube premiere on
Yes.
Wednesday.
December 11th.
And in theory, the first changes that members of the community noticed is that the Festival of Yay had begun on Cold Island.
New Yay costumes this year for Magpie and the Dipsters. Very exciting. I love them very much.
Some lovely costumes.
Yes.
Although you know me, I was having difficulty identifying which Dipster was which. Now I've got an even harder time now that all of their head coverings have been swapped out for seasonal.
Do you have a favorite?
Fripperies. This is going to be so boring. You're going to say, Matt, what's wrong with you?
Matt, what's wrong with
I
you?
just like the snow-dusted pine cone top of Fa.
Oh, that's sweet.
I know
Simple.
that it's not anything new, but I just like the fact that I can still recognize which Dipster it is. Of course, the Dipsters have different colored bodies and different shapes of eyes and positions of eyes and markings on their bodies, but I obviously do my best work when there's the big noticeable differences for me.
And I'm quite fond. I know it's also fairly simple, but I like the red bow. I think it's very festive.
The red bow,
Very
I
nice.
believe, on Doe.
Bodo?
No, Doe has the present.
Adobo?
Oh, it's Ray.
Red.
Dark Side Ray. No,
Come
that's
on.
something else. We'll talk about that
So
next
we
week.
had the new Yay costumes. Of course, Cold Island redecorated with its Festival of
Festooned
Yay.
with Yay-tide decorations.
Permanent Festival of Yay, obstacle decorations, and Festival of Yay
Animated decorations. That's
have
the Cold Man
returned.
Colloquy,
Yes.
the Gingerbread Bluff,
Yes.
the Yay-tide trimmings, and the lamppost.
All very, very pretty. Some of my favorite seasonal decorations.
Yes, they are awfully pretty.
And, of course, I believe I may have said, but Yule.
Yes, the seasonal Yule monster returned on its comet,
And where there's
streaking through the Cold Island sky.
And where there's one Yule, surely more Yules are not far behind.
In fact, as of about an hour ago, Rare Yule, its previously grumpy rare cousin, whose heart was warmed by the
friendship of Pango.
friendship of Pango, sprinkle strewn on its beard and eyebrows, is available to buy or breed this weekend in the first limited time event of Festival of Yay 2019.
So first there was Yay.
But that's not all.
That
There was
was
something
not
else
all.
going on, wasn't there?
Something big happened.
A magical event,
At
if you
roughly
will,
10 a.m. Eastern Time,
on December 11th.
something special premiered.
And it was the reveal of the next magical island in My Singing Monsters, that is Faerie
Faerie
Island. And notably, one of its denizens was very familiar looking to many members of the My Singing Monsters community. This is, of course, Flute Fly, given new life, a new opportunity, a new lease on monsterdom
Yes.
in the monster world. You know, it had been spoken of for so long.
Yes, originally planned as a taking Corster's place.
That's right.
Yes.
In
but
hushed tones. And was it real? Would it ever see the glorious light of My Singing
its
Monsters?
portrait was floating around forums and wikis
Yes,
here and there.
and it's funny because that
subreddits.
portrait was just concept art, and that concept
Yes.
art, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was featured earlier this
Yes.
week for our Monsterpiece
Monday. A sneaky
sort of-
Monsterpiece Monday.
Yes. It's a very, very curious, very
And now
interesting.
Flute Fly, of course, has a new look. And Flute Fly, of course, the single element for the entire
That's right.
Fairy Monster family.
The single element Fairy Elemental.
We know Flute Fly's the single, Platy's the quad, and then
There's
in
a whole
between.
there's a
We've
whole
got
cast.
a whole bunch.
Oh, there's a whole cast of characters.
Some of my
in the
favorite
mix.
monsters, I'd say.
Yes, we got Hippity Hop, an Earth Fairy hybrid.
And we'll get to all of these a little more when we start answering your questions about these monsters.
We got Squat,
Yes.
who's a cold fairy hybrid.
Yes.
We got the Whimsies, a fire fairy hybrid. We've got the Cantarell, a here we go. This is starting to get exciting. Cantarell, this is the
We don't have to recap this,
Earth,
I don't think.
cold, yeah, but they're all in the mix. We got Cantarell,
You
you've got Clavinat, you've got Bridget, you've got.
I think that might
Who am I missing? Did
cover
I get
it.
everybody?
Hippity hop.
Yeah, I
that might
think we
just
did
be
them all.
everybody.
I think
yeah,
we did them all.
So.
Cantarell, Bridget,
8.
Clavinat.
Flute Fly.
Yep.
Cloudy.
And oh, who are we forgetting? Ziggurat making its My
of
Singing
course.
Monsters debut.
Here, let's reenact.
Lending a helpful claw.
No, I'm the claw.
Oh, I'm
You're the
Kana.
Kana.
A helpful claw.
Helpful claw.
There we go.
Isn't that nice?
And maybe we'll use that for the thumbnail. Yeah, so it was very exciting. So many new sounds, new sounds that had never been heard of before, and that one was, if you were had tuned into the beginning of today's episode, sort of a dream come true, a wish fulfillment for monster handler Sam,
Yes.
who works in our audio
Who, of
department.
course, longed for a bagpipe.
Longed for bagpipes. Och, aye, and he got his wish. Sound
love
like
that
Mrs. Doubtfire. It's not good, but I'll try my best. So there's that, and then of course we're forgetting.
Oh, we're not forgetting. We just haven't gotten there yet.
Okay,
What
you're
happened
right. You're
on
right.
Thursday?
On Thursday, December 12th, a surprise, unexpected update came that
At
no
about
one
noon,
that no one predicted. It
we
was
dropped it.
It was Dawn of Fire 2.0. So many exciting changes, so many tweaks, so many improvements, optimizations, and of course, we can't forget the brand new feature, the Prism Gate.
So cool.
Very interesting stuff about the Prism Gate. For those keen-eyed observers on social media and looking at the in-game announcements, you may have noticed some similarity between the look of the Prism Gate, specifically its opening dimensional
portal.
rift, the portal shape, and certain other imagery that had been visible
Perhaps teased.
Yes, the previous week during Cyber Week.
And what was coming out of that dimension? Something colorful.
Something colorful, something silent and colorful. Oh, not there anymore. But of course,
We remember
globes also
Yes.
coming out of that portal. So you may
it. A
have
very colorful dimension.
yes, you may have remembered that last week we were talking about, globes come out of that dimension. Members of the community were speculating what would happen if monsters went into that dimension.
Now we know.
Now we know the prismatic monsters
They get
are
gooey.
are
Some of them.
a brand new form for some of our favorite monsters to take in. Of course, the first monster volunteered to enter the Prism Gate, and this is sort of surprising because a rather timorous,
Yes, you wouldn't expect it to be
a rather
this
timorous
brave.
character. But of course, Furcorn, only fitting, of course, because Furcorn was the very first rare monster in My Singing Monsters to be released. Furcorn, the first prismatic to be
Furcorn the
released
first.
in Dawn of Fire. Yes, there's Furcorn the 13th, there's Furcorn the 1st. Sort of like a regal dynasty.
So, with every prismatic, there are 6 colors you can get.
That's right.
With each prismatic monster, now we only have 1 right now, Furcorn, but
On Party in Space Islands.
we expect to discover more in the future.
Oh, I'm sure.
Many
Listen,
more.
once prismatic Furcorn comes back, and here's an interesting thing. Because previously the globes, soundless creatures, couldn't really describe what was going on in the globe's home dimension. Can these singing monsters who have returned from the beyond the veil of the Prism Gate, can they describe what they saw over there, or are they sort of sworn to secrecy? Maybe it's like the first
they can
rule of
sing.
Prism Gate is you don't talk about Prism Gate.
I like to think that they are sharing stories.
If that's the case, though, perhaps that information was lost at some point between the era of Dawn of Fire and the current
Oh, we've got
era.
some questions about that we'll get to.
Okay, well, I know that the community's sharp intellects have been humming and buzzing with questions. So, is now the time that we can answer some
Jump
of
in?
those questions?
I think so.
I would love to. Oh, it's been an exciting week. I'm all aflutter. All right.
Shall we start? Speaking of all flutter, should we start with questions from My Sing Monsters Update 235?
Yes, we should.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, we should.
So, starting with a question from Woohoos. Is the clavvy gnat smiling or frowning?
Yes. This is one of the main questions that the other monsters
Yes.
who've moved into Faerie Island have a question.
Yes, if you read the bio, no one's really sure.
Because we're not really sure what the sort of right side
What's
up.
upside down, what's right side
Exactly what the correct sort of orientation of the monster is supposed to be. Is it upside down when it's pear shape, or is it upside down when it's light bulb shaped?
up? But what we do know is that it's a hard worker. One of the best friends you can make this side of the leaf.
That's right.
This side of the leaf on the clavvy creeper.
That's right. A brand new a plant seemingly
Michael?
native to Faerie Island.
We're
Yes.
having minor lag, so give me 30 seconds.
Okay.
We're having some lag issues.
Okay.
Apparently.
We're back.
We should be good.
Okay.
We're good. What was the problem, Michael? Did you fix it?
I
Just file transfer.
Oh, was the
yes.
the machine was
The machine
coughing
got-
and sputtering a
The
bit.
machine was like, whoa, hey, slow down there, mister.
But now we're
So-
back on track.
Yes,
Yeah,
as we were saying, clavvy gnat.
Yes,
Not
let's
sure which
reiterate.
side. It was right side up or upside down.
Right? Is it a light bulb or a pear?
But we do know that it's a hard worker and one of the best friends you can make on this side of the leaf being on the clavvy creeper, which is the plant.
And which
It's
contains
potassium.
those sort of semi-transparent. Are they fruit? Are they nuts? Are they some sort of growth on the plant on the clavy creeper that it uses to play its clavinet
Not sure.
style of music?
More research needed, but we do believe it is related to the castanevine.
Yes,
called?
I believe
Another-
that they have a common ancestor.
Yes, another sort of
Musical
musical
plant.
plant.
Yes.
As there are so many of in the monster world.
It is a musical world.
Yes. Cubwax asks, "Hey Matt, can you tell us more about playfids? Are they critters? Are there multiple species of them? What were they inspired by in the real world? If anything."
Yes, no squat is complete without its playfid
Playfid.
companion.
Which the squats kind of sneakily snatch from tree stumps. From
Yes.
their little homes.
Yes, they.
But they knock.
Yes, and they strive to be polite, you
Yes.
know. But squats, I think, are perhaps a little presumptuous. They are saying, "Hey, you playfid, wouldn't you feel fulfilled? Wouldn't you be excited
I'll be the
about
playfid."
about?" Very good. Wouldn't you be thrilled to help me create music here on Faerie Island?
But
And
what
the-
does that entail?
And the playfid's sort of like, well, I mean, and then it's too late. The squat has grabbed the
and the next thing the
playfid.
playfid knows it's
Is being sort
bouncing
of
up and
dribbled
down.
up and down,
Yes.
making
And
a sort of a
poked.
timbale
Poked.
sound. That's right.
I
sort
like
of
to think while it's being
flicked.
poked, the squat's saying like, "Hey, wanna have some fun? What's going on? What you doing?"
Yes, perhaps a little over-eager.
Yes.
A little bit doesn't know its own strength.
Yes.
Right. And the squat itself, you know, primarily nocturnal. If you're My Singing Monster
I do
studies.
believe so. They like to
are accurate.
hide places dark in the forest.
Yes.
Under tumbled logs and the like.
And so, playfids themselves, certainly their coloration and their sort of size and shape are based on the human world insect aphids. Which, little known fact, well, it's a known fact, an aphid was the pet of the queen in A Bug's Life.
What was your name?
What a
I can't
wonderful-
remember. That's why I said the queen in A Bug's Life. Queen Bala's ants. That's something else.
Who needs to know?
Oh, that's a larger conversation. I like both. I don't think you can choose between them. So playfids based on aphids. And are there different species of them? I believe they all sort of look like that, sort of
Yes.
that lime green coloration with the multiple little stubby arms and the eyes.
And are they critters?
I
I don't think critters in the traditional sense.
No. Yes.
There are many, for example, there are many animals in the monster world that are not necessarily the island's critter, but they are but they're not singing monsters.
Right. They're still part of the ecosystem.
For example, the stritch,
yes.
not a critter.
Great example.
Yeah.
Or I was also going to suggest maybe the birds upon Wallaby's head.
Yeah.
The Wallaby itself is just the sheep-like monster.
Yes.
Doesn't travel anywhere without its bird companions, but those birds are,
They're just
not,
part of the fauna.
Yeah, not quite critters, which is sort of interesting because there are also critters on Plant Island that look like they're related to those birds, but there are variations there. It's subtle, it's nuanced, it's not an exact categorization.
Sort of like the states.
Categorization.
Sort of like the states each have their own bird.
Yes.
I think every island
There's a
has its
state
own
bird.
critter.
Right. The island critter.
Yes. And so those wouldn't include, for example, the playfid or the stritch or the wallaby's birds.
I'd say that playfid, because of its role in playing music, much like the wallaby's birds, is closer to a full, status singing monster than it is a critter, but still occupies some sort of nebulous space in between. It's sort of an assist.
Now, next question.
Yes.
From Explore Monsters,
Uh-huh.
the Monster Explorers.
Mhm.
Does Cantarell say "Wimmy wow" or "Winnie wow"?
It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you hear. That's the beauty of Cantarell.
Now, do I hear a certain monster handler, Matt, in the Cantarell voice?
Bah!
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 Wimmy wow, Wimmy wow. Wimmy wow.
Oh
wow.
no! I played my hand.
Just had to
I had to. There
bait
it is.
out.
There it is.
All right. Next comes from
Wasn't me.
Larry Mantic. When you made Earth Island, was
Yes.
Reedling sound going to be flute-fi sound?
That's a very interesting question. I'm tempted to say no, just because Reedling made its premiere on Water Island rather
Yes.
than Earth Island.
And not
but
quite the
But it
same.
could be that the early days of that it wasn't really locked in. The only monsters that we knew for sure were sort of assigned and categorized when the game first launched were the first 3 islands. It was Plant, Cold, and Air. Those were the monsters that we knew we had and that were sort of locked in, and then all subsequent monsters, including Reedling and Chorister on Water and Earth Islands, were developed after the fact
Well, there you go.
as part of later content updates.
Now, we have a couple questions about Hippity Hop here.
Hippity hop.
First of all, Mixelmon's gotta know.
Yeah.
Mixelmon wants to know,
Yes.
which one is Hippity and which one is Hop?
You should answer that question.
I think it varies for
From
each Hippity Hop.
from monster to monster?
Yes, I think, they're conjoined. And
Yeah.
I think at birth, they sort of go, so
Which is the hippity and which is the hop?
which one of us is going to be the Hop here? And which one's going to be the Hippity?
There are 2 types of people in the world. There are
There's
hippities
hippities
and
and
there
there's
are hops. Yeah. I'm a hippity.
And I was going to say I think I'd be a Hop.
There you go.
Now, related, Abed
Yeah.
Shark 10 wants to know which one has the higher voice and which one has the lower voice.
Like if sonological science tells us anything, I would be tempted to say that the smaller of the 2 is a higher pitched voice.
I always got the opposite vibe.
Yes.
I always
okay.
thought the wee Hop or Hippity
Yes.
had the deeper voice. But I trust your sonological research.
Well, but that's what would I would guess. But remember that many singing monsters defy conventional science.
It's hard to get a read on them when they're both going at the same time.
Yes, it's sort of a joint venture, right? Like it's a unified vibe to the hippity hop. So it's hard to necessarily pull them apart because you can't really. They're conjoined. And they just sort of exist as a unit, so maybe it makes sense to consider them as such.
Yes.
Very interesting monster because, of course, being a Earth fairy hybrid, it's awfully brightly colored and even has those sort of feathery type.
Yes, it almost looks air-like, but in reality, those feathery bits and the sensory organs on its ears are used as sensory organs to see their way through dark tunnels at night. Because
Yes, they're subterranean.
Kind of like a bunny or a
shrew
mole.
or
Yes,
a mole.
they burrow at night. They have a little burrow that they live in.
How sweet.
Very cute. One more question
Okay.
about Hippity Hop.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
I just.
Well, I've lost it, but who voices the monster?
Which one?
Hippity Hop.
Hippity hop? That's classified monster handler knowledge. That's need to know.
On lockdown.
It's not me. I will say that. I can exclude myself from the running. I can admit. I admit that I am the deeper voice of Cantarell. I'll say that. It's
on
done.
the record.
It's on the record. But I am not hippity hop. No.
Well, there you go. It's a mystery.
So there you go.
Living Person asks, how and why is Ziggurat on Faerie Island?
I think Ziggurat is on Faerie Island because the elements dictate that it is. No, I'm kidding. I think that Ziggurat is a good candidate for Faerie Island shenanigans because of its bright coloration. You know, for a monster based in part on a crab, those vibrant blues and the bright sort of red-tipped claws that it scuttles around on, I think is consistent with the other brightly, almost luridly colored fairy monsters.
But how did it get there?
How did it get there? Well,
Was it whisked away, kind of like Kana was?
Well, here's how I think it happened. Right, our monstrous fairy tale video that premiered on Wednesday, telling the saga of how Kana was spirited away to Faerie Island. It's my belief, personally, that noticing that Kana was not where it was supposed to be, and of course that the Baba Yaga Tower had also mysteriously vanished as well, Ziggurat is sort of a deputy on the fire-led monster expeditions of the rest of the monster world, did its best to sort of forensically follow the trail, not unlike another effort made earlier this year, to track down where they went. And I think that thanks to Ziggurat's detective work, they were able to find their way successfully. And it brought with them the collection of other fire and natural monsters on the island. Mammoth, Noggin, Stog. So yeah,
There you go.
that's what I'm thinking.
I'm going to skip a couple questions ahead here to an interesting one from Blake at Steak Prince Blake.
Mm-hmm.
How do the psychics feel about their new fairy friends? Or did they already know about them?
It's not clear what sort of interrelationships exist
They seem very
between
far
the
away.
magical monsters. They seem kind of isolated right now.
Well, Faerie Island is sort of actually concealed by some billowy clouds.
Yes, clouds.
Yes.
Very interesting. Clouds.
Whereas Psychic Island, Kruvlaft, that titan.
Are you going to say it? You going to do it?
You've got it.
There you go. All right.
Is sort of in a more cosmic location.
Yes,
More cosmic locale.
the former location of Space Island back during the era of Dawn of Fire. So
I wonder if they know about each other at all.
I don't know. Certainly the Titan that Faerie Island is constituted
And
of.
who is that titan?
That is the Facade.
Facade.
Yes, it's like
Fae,
it's like facade. It's like-
Fae, as in fairy.
Yes, you got
Facade.
it. Yes, and also has like odd in there, like
And face. It's got it all.
It's all connected. So yes, the Facade Titan wants to sort of conceal its actual looks. It wants to dissemble. So it has this ornate mask that it wears, and
it's
found
very
an
beautiful.
area of the monster world where it can just sort of do its own thing.
Yes.
Lots of billowy clouds.
Yes.
Everywhere, clouds.
All right. Moving on to some questions about the Whimsies.
Ah, the Whimsies.
One of my favorite monsters on this island.
Ah, the Whimsies.
Are the Whimsies in the game the only types of Whimsies you can get? Could there be other Whimsy colors and body shapes inside the monster world?
I can see no reason why not, and I would be very curious to see. Perhaps you articulate
well,
the idea. I think
ju-
it's probably the same idea that I have.
I was just going to say that I think that similar to how all choristers in My Singing Monsters, the game, look the same, but all choristers and noggins as well in the actual monster world, they're rocks. They all look a little different.
They have some,
Yes.
idiosyncrasies, some uniqueness to each of them.
Yeah, and I think Whimsies, they sort of, sew their casings that,
Yes.
that conceal their
Sort
sort
of a burlap
misty
kind of
yeah,
texture.
that keep their sort of misty bodies contained. I think if they're sewing them by hand, or rather by foot, that they're probably all a little different in the monster world, and maybe they are different colors, whatever fabric they can find lying around.
What I was going to say is I would love to, in a future episode of My Sing Monsters Live, take a look at some original whimsy designs.
Design your own whimsy.
Let's say maybe that there are different shapes and colors out there. I would like to see someone's versions of those whimsies.
So please draw up your own whimsy designs, whether you do it on paper or digitally, and then post them on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram.
And include
#MyStreamingMonsters.
That's how we'll
and tag
know
us.
that you want it to appear
Yes.
on the show.
I'd love to see some whimsy designs.
As would I.
Sasha Just Answer asks, do the 4 whimsies have different hobbies? And if so, what are they? Of course, sewing, shared by all whimsies.
Yes, there's sort of a sorority of singers, right? So I think that they have a lot of common hobbies and interests, but they are all still individuals. They're all still unique, but I get the sense that they sort of drift together.
Yes,
so,
team sports, perhaps.
yes, perhaps one particular whimsy is more keen on a particular thing, and the others are good natured and go along with it, and then there's just sort of, it's like rotating a chore chart, right? Like, well, this week we're going bowling, and maybe you
They're on
don't
bowling
know, maybe you're not as big a bowling fan, but you'll put up with it. You'll be a good sport about it.
I think many whimsies would like to try out synchronized swimming, but of course, they're their own flotation device.
Yes, difficult to actually
Sink.
and dive below the surface
That's
of the water.
that's the eternal struggle of the whimsies.
Of the whimsies.
Yes.
Such a shame.
Let's see here. John Amations asks, since magicals are hello.
Michael.
Nothing to see there.
Oh
Just
my goodness.
What is going on? So, John Amations, should this be our last question?
Yes,
today?
and then let's move on to trivia.
Yes. So, John Amations asks, since magicals are as hard to breed as fire monsters on My Sing Monsters, does that mean that the magicals used to thrive in the Dawn of Fire age, but like fire monsters, have been long absent from the monster world before the discovery of Psychic Island? We have not seen any evidence of the magical monsters in the Dawn of Fire.
Yes, the magical elements, the monsters belonging to the magical class, at least based on the studies, the research that I have done, seem to have cropped up after the dissolution of the continent.
They almost seem to be squatting.
Squat?
Squatting.
Yes.
In spots
Previously
perhaps
occupied.
perhaps once relevant to the Dawn of Fire, but no longer.
Yes, they seem like they're some of the newer monsters that have sprang into existence. Not sort of sure where they came from in the first place.
Perhaps during the the major event that caused the lands to separate. Perhaps in that event, sort of all the magical powers happening at once gave birth to magical elements. But who's to say?
An interesting theory.
More research to be done. We're still our historians.
And this is only the second.
Historian handlers.
This is only the second magical element to be discovered.
So we
right?
still have lots of research.
Perhaps if and when we discover more will come to light.
Yes. All right. So that wraps up that part of the questions.
But of course, if you have more questions, we hold on to them.
Yes.
We might come and revisit them at a later episode of My Sing Monsters Live.
And we'll be discussing some questions you guys have sent in about the Dawn of Fire.
But we'll get to that in a second if
Yes.
Michael can restrain himself.
Michael!
He was too excited.
I was just trying to make sure things were working.
Are they working?
I think so.
Hooray! Okay. All right, so I
to
did
consider.
not meet my quota last week, so I'm going in with no point advantage this week. All
I was
right.
gonna say, and that was with your point of view.
I know. I'm going to be
your point advantage for
trivia.
of course, Stumped Trivia.
Also known as
Stumped.
Stumped. Yeah.
I hope Eric
At his desk.
Yes, at his desk,
Operating
chatting with you
the
guys,
chat.
is saying to himself,
Stumped. Yes, but I hope not to be stumped too many times, but I anticipate that I will be stumped 3 out of 5 times
Ooh,
today
never do this.
for a successful for a success rate of 40%. I'm ready. Sydney,
All right.
fire off the first one.
Our first question comes from Living Person. How many holes?
I love that username.
Yes. How many holes are on Flute Fly's mask? This includes, they say, all holes on the mask.
1, 2.
On my face, I have 1, 2,
8.
3.
8.
Stumped.
9.
9. It is 9.
Rats!
And they have broken it down helpfully.
I know where it is. 2 for the eye
holes,
holes and then
6 on the flute, and then 1 at the end of the flute.
Oh, I didn't even count that one. So I was
Of
right and
course.
wrong. All right. Incorrect.
Next up.
Of course, the end of the flute. That's FLOOT.
Oh, I seem to have tragically lost who this trivia question came from. So if you're in the chat, I apologize. But this person
Claim
asks,
credit.
what is the average quantity of eyelashes on each whimsy? The average quantity.
Is this a decimal?
Yes.
Oh.
But I would say it's...
A clean decimal?
Yeah, well, it's reasonable.
I'm gonna say it's 2.5.
Stop.
What?
So, there are 13 eyelashes total
Between the 4.
between the 4. So 13 divided by 4 equals 3.25. So the average number is 3.25.
I was 0.75 off.
Yeah, but I would say that's a math question you can do.
That is a math question I could do. Listen to this sass from Monster Handler Michael. I know.
I'm believing in you.
I know that mathematics
sound like it.
is sometimes not what I'm known for, but I used to be pretty good at it back in the day.
That wasn't me being sass. I was
All right,
saying.
all right. So
you
that's
get
2 incorrect. So basically, I need to get 2 of the next 3 correct, and I'm feeling good.
Sir Benbot asks, how many vocal monsters are on Faerie Island?
How many vocal monsters?
Yes.
That includes among the entire 15.
How many vocal monsters are on Faerie
All right.
Island?
How many vocal monsters are on Faerie Island? Kana, Mammoth, Cantarell, Hippity Hop, Whimsies.
Follow along at home in the chat. Count them off in the chat. Which
5.
vocal monsters
5.
can you come up
Only
with?
5. Because Bridget isn't. Clavinat isn't. Platy is not.
They say 7.
7. Do they have a list?
They do not list them out. So people at home, do you
Who am
agree?
I
Can
missing?
you count
Flute
off the
fly
7?
not vocal.
Very.
Squat not vocal. Maybe they're counting the Whimsies as individual characters.
Or perhaps.
But that
Hippity
wouldn't
Hop.
make any sense.
I wonder. Let's look up a list here because I am also curious. If we take 2 seconds to do it.
I like my answer. 5. Counting Whimsies as 1. What's the chat
Alright,
saying?
We've
That's what
got
I'm waiting next time.
we've got Noggin and Kane.
So Noggin no. Mammoth.
Boscus.
Yes. Boscus. I missed
And
Boscus.
Hippity Hop.
I had Hippity Hop.
Whimsies and Cantarell.
I missed Boscus.
And
I missed Boscus.
But-
It's 6. 7.
I wonder
no.
if they
I think they counted the twins.
as separate.
Yeah.
Hippity Hop. I wonder
Well,
if
they're
they-
counted as one monster, so
I still
everyone's
got it.
wrong. So, alright, so
Alright.
stumped for me.
Yep.
Got stumped. Alright, these last 2, I'm
Okay.
feeling good. Feeling good.
Nicole Wilson 583 asks, how many eyes does Squat have?
Oh! Rats! 7.
7.
7.
What if I told you it was 11? And you were stumped.
The 7-Eleven. All right. Well, I'm not even
Not
gonna
doing
meet my.
great
I'm
this
not even gonna
episode.
meet my minimum. So maybe I'll redeem myself for a sudden death double point.
Well, funny you should say
Final.
double because...
There's 2 more questions.
No. Funny you should say double because Sasha Just Answer asks, which 2 or more headed monsters are stuck in one body? They say the following monsters do not count. Bisonorous,
Okay.
Bon Appetit,
Yep.
Whimsies,
Uh-huh.
Thumpies,
Uh-huh.
Bonkers, and Hippity Hop. Although Hippity Hop is conjoined, so I would argue that you should
Mm.
count that. But they're saying those don't count. So 2 or more headed monsters stuck in one body.
Schmoochel, Potbelly,
And we're not. Carry on.
Quibble. Are we counting rares and epics? Because Rare Dandy Do is definitely one. As
Carry on,
distinct
carry
from
on.
its Cantarell, let's say. Two-headed.
Or 2 or more.
2 or more. Chorister. I'm gonna say 8.
You're going to say 8. Did
Yeah.
you add more to that list?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Because I always assume that there are some that I miss.
Wow.
I got as far as 6, and I say I'll tack on an extra 2 for
Well,
good
it's
measure.
funny that you should say that because I'm going to make an executive decision here and say that you are winner gagnant because what they listed was Potbelly, Schmoochel, Cantarell, Quibble, Chorister, and Rare Dandy Do. However, so that's 6. However, if they're counting Rare Dandy Do, I think you gotta count Rare and Epic Schmoochel.
Yes,
So that makes 8.
and potentially also Rare
Hey,
Quibble.
hey, stop while you're ahead.
Rare Quibble. Okay, I will accept. I will accept the winner gagnant.
Just take it.
I
You got all the monsters. You got all the
have.
core monsters.
I have.
Yes.
I will accept it. All right.
Great.
20%. That's not a passing grade, but you know what? Whatever. The community stumps me, and it's great.
And the missing question from before was from Apanasumkara.
Apenas un bocado.
Thank you, Eric.
Great. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for sending in those questions and for continually
Supplying them.
humiliating me in front of the whole community. No, I love these brain
Yes,
challenges.
keep sending us questions in the chat and on social media using hashtag MyStreamingMonsters.
Yes, there's. I take no shame in the stumpage
Yes.
because it's a learning opportunity for me, and I try and remember the answers. If I'm ever asked them again, I'm thinking, of course, of the number of
Yes,
Deej
Deej.
ice
Now,
blocks.
when you send in questions, please include the answer with your question.
That's important. And if it's a detailed list like a number, if you can
Break it down.
name off who it is so that we're not here going Rare Dandy Do, Cantarell, and
Now, before
thinking it up.
we continue to our next segment, I think we can give a little shout out to Wayne Eck. Happy birthday.
Congratulations on it being your birthday.
Yes.
I'm
Congratulations
so
on your
used to saying
birth.
congratulations. I started in on that and then I
Happy
figured I'd
birthday.
commit. Congratulations
Happy birthday, Wayne
on
Eck.
this being the day of your birth.
It sounds
An
like
exciting
you were
day.
being very generous in the chat, so thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Yes, we love
We appreciate
all
you.
of the support that us monster handlers get. It humbles us.
Yes.
You know, stay hungry, stay humble, or whatever that is. You know.
Ay, ay, ay. We got a hype beast
I
over here.
pulled a Michael, and I
Did you?
dabbed. I dabbed. Yes.
All right. Now, what's next?
What's next?
Now that we've
well,
been stumped.
yes, we've talked about Faerie Island, but I want to do a bit of a deeper dive into My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire 2.0.
Yes.
So, earlier today, I grabbed some footage that I had made of me playing on my account of My Singing
Your personal
Monsters.
account?
My personal
Oh my
account
goodness.
on My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire. And I wanted to
my
show you
Galvana.
some aspects of the 2.0 update that weren't necessarily touched on in the tutorial video that are pretty neat and that I wanted to show off.
Okay.
So,
Let's
Michael,
check it out.
now you can spool it up, Michael. Okay.
So I'm hoping this will work.
Let's hope it works.
Oh no! We're almost there.
Wait, no,
Oh,
don't
it's
worry,
peeking
don't
in.
worry. We can make this work. We can
Yes.
make this work.
We can make it work.
Oh, it's
if we try.
sideways, you
Yes,
see.
We're almost there. Oh no! Oh, you're getting a sneak peek.
In our behind the scenes. Oh my goodness!
Don't
Look at
worry.
this. It's being.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
So this is cool. This is an opportunity for people to see how we do the show. My Singing
Behind
Monsters
the
Live.
curtain.
It's not actually
Whoa,
in an
you
iPad.
could've replaced my sail.
It's not actually in an iPad at all, is it? It's
The
just
secret's out.
it's secret. No, this was taken on my iPad. But there we go.
Beautiful, thank
We're
you.
Okay, so there's our new beautiful loading screen. So I just wanted
So
to show
we're
you some of
hopping
the
in.
exciting things that are going on in this 2.0
You might want to bend
update.
down a little.
Okay, I'll back up. So, here on launch, if you don't know what's going on in My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire, perhaps you're new to the game, fear not. This handy video tutorial that we created on our YouTube channel is available for you to go and take a look and see some of the intricacies, the tweaks that we've made. So here is my beautiful continent. I've got all of the elemental lands
Very
unlocked.
lovely.
Now, do you notice anything special about the monsters that I've selected to go on each of the elemental lands? Sydney,
do
I know
they
that we're
each
going around
have-
sort of fast.
Do they
but
each have an element from that land? I see Tweedles on air.
Sort of. I've done my best to sort of reconcile the natural islands with some of the more recent islands.
That's very nice.
Yeah, so we've got sort of some Fire Oasis monsters on the air lands, some of the Fire Haven monsters down on the earth
Young
lands. There, of
Pango
course,
on
is the
cold.
living core
Yes.
that the monsters descended into. The fire monsters,
Yes,
of course.
the volcano, as you now know it in My Sea Monsters.
That's right. Here are my beautiful waterlands. Look at all those glorious monsters.
Very
And here on the plant lands, we've got my monsters from Plant Island in their young forms. Aren't they sweet? Of course, one of the major things in this update is that young monsters on the continent now produce coins, just like in My Sea Monsters. So, call me an old-fashioned kind of guy, but I like the individually collecting them as I scroll around.
I find that very
But the other
satisfying as
thing,
well.
of course, that you can do is now there's that collect all button that appears in the bottom right-hand corner, something that we're sort of
It'll be
testing
over
and
there again.
experimenting with in My Sea Monsters Dawn of Fire. First as a little sort of
It's that
thing.
little piggy bank button that you'll see.
That's right. It looks sort of like a boar. So in preparation for today's demonstration, I have a little fir corn here. Oh, you can't
There
forget
it
to
is.
collect my crystals.
Oh, yeah, gotta get your
Gotta get the
Vigidian
That's right,
crystals.
Vigidian. And you'll notice later I couldn't help but what have we got over here? Look,
The Wonder
Mine. So what I wanted to point out is that indicator there on the left-hand side that shows you when your Wonder Mine mission, your
Is that a
expedition.
little exclamation point there?
Yes, is complete. That icon will appear, and it sort of looks like the Prism Gate icon. So no matter where you are on the continent,
Give it a
you
tap.
can tap and go directly to the Wonder Mine
That's very
when
helpful.
that's finished. So that's pretty cool.
As a
That's-
Wonder Mine
that's pretty neat.
spelunker, I appreciate
Oh, gotta get the skylight. Gotta get the skylight. Okay, not to be sidetracked. All right, back. I'd placed my fir corn
There
here.
it is. Very sweet little fir corn.
Yes, my fir corn is already at level 5, so I wanted to point out to everyone, because I'd seen some questions about this on social, the question of where the sell button had gone. And it's inside the move menu. So you need only
okay.
tap on move.
Move your fir corn.
And there's your sell button. So there it is.
There it is.
And hopefully this means that you're less likely to accidentally sell your monsters now. But
one
the other thing I
more
wanted to
menu
point
away.
out as well is the teleport button that appears in this monsters menu, and that is helpful for taking you directly to the teleporter
Very helpful.
and letting you know where the outer island destinations of that monster are.
Instead of saying I've got a fir corn here, where can you go? You can say hit that teleport
And of
button.
course, I've got connections with the bank of the monster world, so I've got lots of coins and diamonds. So in lieu of waiting, I'm just going to speed up this process with some diamonds. It's not going to take a lot of diamonds, of course, because this fir corn is being teleported to Party Island. But the maturation process of the fir corn. Oh God, can't forget the skylight. Oh, it's a glorious and wondrous thing to behold. And look, you see, there's the teleporter indicator there on the left-hand side as well. It works just like the Wonder Mine indicator, so
Very
no matter
convenient.
where you are on the continent, let's say I wanted to go over and visit another part of my continent, say the cold lands, and admire my Boscus and my Sponge and Deej and Thumpies, I could do that, and then I could tap directly on that teleporter icon, and it would take me right back to let me know
Very
that the action is complete. The
There
fir
it
corn
goes.
is turning from its young form
Come
into its
on
adult form.
over
Here,
here
all
to
the
Party
way
Island.
to Party Island, and
Yes.
here is my brand new expanded Party Island. You see, I've taken full advantage of all the new real estate
Yes.
that's available
Space
for the
Island
monsters.
and Party Island, of course, both expanded.
Yes, the first outer islands to receive the expanding treatment.
And we expect
is this
that's related-
bigification? I don't know.
Oh, and we expect that the expansion is related to the Prism Gate. So as the Prism Gate visits more
Yes,
outer islands.
hoping that creature can withstand the added weight.
It looks pretty
still
sturdy.
no official name for that
No.
creature. Still no official name.
It looks pretty
We'll have
sturdy,
to
though.
see if any of the monsters have ever named it. But of course, here we are over at the Prism Gate, the new feature in My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire 2.0, and the first monster to travel through. Furcorn. I've got both Leaf and Sprig here, my
And there goes
Furcorns
Sprig.
who are prepared to make the journey. And here on the potential reward screen, you can see all the different percentage chances assigned to each of the 6 colors of prismatic fur corn that you can get.
And those, spoiler alert, those percentages will be different for future monsters.
Yes, on a monster by monster basis. It's related, I think, this is my working theory, on the color that the monster already is. And that might influence those
That
things.
might give you some clues.
So again, it works sort of like the Wonder Mine or the teleporter. I've got lots of diamonds, so why don't we speed through the process.
Go.
Ta-da!
Go, Sprig, go.
Any guess? What color fur corn is it going to be? What color fur corn is it going to be?
It's going to be red.
Orange
What
had the
will it
highest
be?
odds.
Hello, man.
And here's Mammoth. I just wanted to show you.
He's
that-
looking good
Yes.
these
Okay.
days.
Here we go. Are you ready? What was your guess?
I said red.
All right.
Oh,
Monster Handler Michael was correct.
favorite
it
color.
It was blue. So
love that prismatic.
what to do? But place blue prismatic fur corn beside its common buddy. And look, I got some prismants in the mix.
Ooh, how
now,
helpful.
which prismants you get are sort of randomized every time you enter into the prism gate, that monster. But multiple trips can only yield you these valuable souvenirs, and these are
And
very
what do they
helpful.
do?
Well,
Yeah.
I'll show you, Monster Handler Sydney. Let's go back
Please do.
to the prism gate, and let's say, for example, that I like blue, but I want to do something a little different.
Shake it up.
I can tap that little icon in the upper part above the prism gate
Yes,
and open
the
up
little
my
square.
prismant menu and decide which prismant I want to use. So, and I drag that prismant
Green,
into the
we've
counter.
decided.
And okay, so I have 2 green prismants. The thing I wanted to show you is I can actually add more prismants to this prism gate,
More than you have?
more than I have, but it'll indicate to me that I have more by that counter color turning
Yeah,
red,
red.
rather than white.
Then-
So
that
let's
you've
say,
exceeded
okay,
how
I
many you
want
have.
35 prismants in the mix, and you can see I've got a 50% chance of returning a blue prismatic or a green prismatic for
The one
fur
you
corn.
started or a new color?
That's right. Now, at this point, it'll prompt me to make up the difference of those prismants that I want added, bought with diamonds. I've got enough coins, but not enough prismants. So I bought those remaining prismants with diamonds, something that you can do if you're really
I
gunning
didn't know. That's very
for
helpful.
a particular color. Any guesses what this? Will it be blue?
It will be
Will it
green.
turn green?
It will
Okay.
turn green. That's my guess.
Michael's
Michael's still on
saying
team
it's still blue. Okay, here we go.
See a sprig?
Yes.
Yes.
Green.
We got a new green.
And you know,
A goofy
call,
green.
call me an old softy, but I like putting a common monster with its closest colored prismatic. Hopefully they have
They
things
wanna
to
be
talk
buddies.
about. Hopefully
Something in common.
Exactly. Hopefully they
Something in common.
common monsters, common and prismatic. Oh, it's a beautiful relationship. They'll have so much to talk about. Sprig will be there talking to Bud. Leaf, that's it. No, Leaf will be talking to Sprig, and of course the indicators there on the outer islands in the
the
map
prism
menu.
gate?
Yes, exactly. Will show you how long the prism gate is open. So, I just wanted to point out a couple of these cool new features in My Singing Monsters 2.0. Got to collect my Stonics there. Stonics, last pass of my continent before the session ends.
One last thing about
Yes.
the prismatics is, don't forget,
Aquanine.
your nice green sprig there is going to make you more coins.
That's right, they are more valuable for you
Oh, another
on
crystal.
the outer islands. Yes, a Frosium. On the outer islands than their just regular common
And
counterparts.
am I correct in saying the rarer they are, the more they make?
I think that is correct, but more research is
More research
required.
needed.
And
We'll
that's
have
it.
to double check.
So Michael, that's it. That's all I wanted to show. We're back at the beginning.
Lovely.
Here we are again. So I just
Here
wanted to
we
show you
are
some sort of
again on the
some
continent.
tooltips, some handler hints, if you will, about Dawn of Fire 2.0 that might help you in your journey to collect all of the prismatic fur corns this weekend. Because of course the Prism Gate opened for the first time yesterday, December 12th, but prismatic fur corn is only available until Monday, December 16th. They sort of work like rares or epics in My Singing Monsters, the first game. So don't delay. Make sure that you collect as many prismatic fur corns on both Party and Space Island while you can, while the going's good. Monster Handler Michael, you have a question? Yes?
Are we doing Monsterpieces?
We are doing Monsterpieces. Are you ready to cue them up, Monster Handler Michael?
And I'm just putting a link in the chat that if you have any other
Questions?
questions or want any more clarification about what's changed in Dawn of Fire, you can go to this page.
And you'll learn all.
Yes,
that
it
we
has
need.
all the update notes.
All right, so
here we go.
Monsterpieces here from Galaxy Magic. Oh, some very sweet whimsies.
Yes.
2 yellow-colored, interestingly. The green one nowhere to be found.
Well,
perhaps,
no,
perhaps camouflaged.
It's green toned. Look at its mouth. It's got a green tone to it.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Yes, with the 3 pigtails there.
You're right.
Yes.
I stand corrected.
They're very sweet.
Well
and look
done.
at those eyelashes.
Yes, I love the texture there, Galaxy Magic. Well done. Beautiful stuff.
Love the heart shines on the eyes.
Ah, Mr. the Zamboni here
A
has
double.
has some excellent work of a flute fly, and
And the
also
whole gang.
Exactly, the other fairy monsters, including that sort of collapsed platy.
I love it in its collapsed
Yes,
state.
down and squat.
Wonderful
if you
job,
will.
Mr. the Zamboni.
Is that Pango upset?
He says lucky. I think it's because of his nose, maybe. And I believe that flute fly drawing came with the Monsterpiece before they knew what the new flute fly looked like.
Oh,
Yes.
very interesting.
Yes. 3 from Sasha. Just
Wow,
Answer.
Sasha Just Answer here has some lovely artworks of the trio of Yules up there in the left-hand corner, including a very jolly rare Yule, always
Yes.
nice to see. A very sweet image of Hippity Hop
Being buddies.
being buddies. They're,
And-
they're each other's hype mon,
Yes,
right?
exactly,
And,
they are.
and some beautiful whimsies up there in the corner. There it is on the graph paper that
Chilling
Sasha
with-
Just
with
Answer
the
so fond
squad.
of. Got to travel with the squad.
Squad
Squad
up.
goals. Squad goals. Beautiful work, Sasha Just Answer. From Shammy Show, here we have
A very spooky,
a
spooky
sinister,
cantarelle.
a sinister cantarelle.
And it's harder for us to see on this TV screen here, but in the background are other cantarelles with their glowing eyes.
Ah,
Perhaps
yes.
growing in a circle, as said in their bio, which is, of course, if you know, you know, they're a reference to fairy circles. Which
Yes,
are,
fairy rings.
Yes, fairy rings, which are rings of mushrooms that all grow in a strange circle.
Hmm.
Creepy.
Whoa,
And speaking of creepy,
I love this artwork by Sombrero Pickle, one of my
Amazing.
all-time favorites. This poor furcorn doesn't know what's coming, sitting casually on a log in a bog, and there's
Bog.
Brump, getting ready to hopefully just have a pleasant conversation with Furcorn. But
Yes.
certainly this looks sort of like a predator-prey
he's
relationship
gonna
here.
creep up and whisper, "Wake up, the Wetlands, wake up."
Furcorn's gonna go, "Do I know you?" That's gonna be.
This image, much beloved by many of the monster handlers in the
Oh
studio
yes,
today.
beautifully well done. Love the shading. Love the light effects on it. Oh, beautiful. Well done, Sombrero Pickle. What's next?
Bacino,
21 has this is sort of a
very cool-
hype mon
yes.
moment here for Flute Fly.
And of course, another flute fly drawing that was made when we prompted
Yes,
people with the
that-
monster
yes,
piece.
yes.
So it's before it was revealed on Faerie Island.
It's sort of
Maskless.
yes, new lease on life on Faerie Island.
Yes, very cool. Love the perspective.
Yes, very neat.
And a cute one from Diponitoxin.
Very good.
Yeah, I
Well
hope so.
pronounced.
Care for some tea?
Of Bridget.
Bridget, of course, loves. It might seem scary or creepy that it's
Yeah.
hiding under a bridge. Of course, inspired by
The trolls.
Yes, you might find some similarities with human world trolls that dwell under bridges. Bridge it.
Ah.
But of course, this is actually a very sweet monster that just wants people to come visit and have some tea.
And look at that tea, delicately balanced on its single digit.
Yes.
And,
Very
and
sweet.
quite a jovial expression there.
Yeah, very cute.
Here we have
Everton.
Clavinat and the Whimsies by Did you say Everton?
I said Everton.
Everton.
But who's
Yes.
to say?
I like the background on the Clavinat.
Yeah, it's very
picture there.
beautiful.
It really helps to sort of add an air of wonder and of sort of danger
Yeah.
on Faerie Island. It's sort of it's a magical place. Anything can happen, right?
A wide range of expressions on all of these monsters as well. Very
Yes.
good job.
Well done on those Whimsies, Everton. Here
Rommel,
from
the epic pummel.
I love that username, and I love this. Why do I love this Monster and the Sydney?
Because it's Lego.
Because it's made out of Lego and a fairly
Building
faithful
blocks.
adaptation. You know what I love? A very clever use of the separator piece for the flute.
Yes, it's incredible.
The nose.
I love
there.
the arm on the flute as well. Playing
Yes.
it.
Very
Incredible.
well. Very well done. Love the wings too. All in all, an excellent monster piece.
Very well done, everybody. We always love receiving your monster pieces, so send them to us on social media, just about anywhere. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram.
And once again,
Hashtag
my streaming monsters.
And make
that's
sure,
how you get them.
yeah, and make sure you tag us if you can, at Singing Monsters on Twitter and My Singing Monsters everywhere
Just
else.
about everywhere else.
Yeah.
Great. There's another question from Monster Handler Michael.
Hit us.
Yes, Michael.
Just wondering, Sydney,
Mm-hmm.
how many trolls have you encountered in the human world?
I think that's a personal question.
Yeah, I'm not at liberty to say. I keep those meetings confidential. Have I
You
been...
don't want to expose the secret society of trolls living among us.
Have
There's
I
all sorts
shared-
of Netflix specials about it. Troll hunters and what have you.
Have I shared some tea with some under the bridge dwellers in my life? Maybe, and maybe it was very pleasant.
I was about to say, I hope that was a pleasant experience.
Of course, they're like so many monsters,
Yes.
much more pleasant than they sound.
Yes, that's sort of the whole vibe, right? Is that maybe they seem
Vibe.
scary at first, but once you get to know them, they just want to sing a song. They just want to sing a
They
song.
just want to sing. Their hearts
Speaking of singing a song, you'll be singing a song, and I'm speaking right now to the winner of our general giveaway. There's still a little bit of time to get your exclamation point raffle in. Hopefully you're eligible. Has it?
Well, I'm not sure if it hasn't been drawn just yet, but how about while we wait, we answer a couple questions about the Dawn of Fire
Oh,
update?
yes, that's a good idea.
We'll do rapid fire.
Yes, because I was so caught up in
We had lots
talking.
to talk about.
Yes.
MSM Poker
And
Gamer.
you know what? We're doing well for time, so let's
Yes.
talk about Dawn of Fire. as well.
MSM Poker Gamer asks, how often will we see the Prism Gate open to get monsters like Furcorn again?
Unclear. The Prism Gate is
Only time will tell.
sort of a unpredictable phenomenon. Who could have anticipated its opening in the first place? We're trying to collect as much information about it while it's open, but it could be that the Prism Gate opens at unannounced times going forward. We don't quite know yet what schedule it's going to operate on. I can confirm though, and this is a nice to know thing, that in samples taken from the interdimensional plasmic goo of the Prism Gate, it seems that My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire players will have roughly a 24-hour advanced notice of a Prism Gate opening.
And
You'll
that will
need to
be on
visit.
the-
Yes, you'll need to visit the different outer islands to see,
Okay.
but it should appear in a state that it sort of looked like when the update first came out on Thursday, indicating that the Prism Gate will open in and there will be a countdown timer
Very
there.
helpful.
So you'll have to keep an eye out on the outer islands to stay on top of these things because it's still an unpredictable phenomenon.
Yellow the Lemon asks, how does a monster change inside the Prism Gate?
Well, how does it change? In the same way that a human who goes into the realm of Narnia from the C.S. Lewis novels, from the C.S. Lewis novels, experiences the flow of time differently. Those young kids who went into the wardrobe were into their 20s, and they came back out the other side, and suddenly only seconds had passed.
Right.
In our home dimension.
So do they go on a whole long journey on the
well,
other side?
it's unclear if the resulting change of having entered the Prism Gate is a result of years of exposure to the energies of the otherworldly dimension, or whether or not it's an instantaneous change. There are different amounts of time that
Right.
monsters can go in and are changed, right?
So I think this answers a key question, which is, when you send a monster in, is it that same monster coming back, just changed, or are you finding a new monster?
It is
It's
that
the same monster.
It's that monster that has
They keep the
changed.
same name, of course.
That's
so
right.
There you go.
It's that-
Sprig came back as Sprig.
That's right. It's that monster that has fundamentally changed. That's sort of a molecular level. The prismatic monsters actually do have unique bios in Dawn of Fire that you can take a look at on a per monster species level.
So all the prismatic fur.
Yes, it's worth double checking to see how the Prism Gate has affected their nature.
Very exciting. Yeah, I saw some questions about why are they so slimy. Now, one more thing that the community is asking before we get to our winner, which we have.
Oh!
Thank you, Eric. Matt, the community wants to know, can they have your friend code?
Oh, I don't have it memorized, but maybe after this episode, after we play the composer piece, I can put my friend code
In the chat.
in the chat.
Wouldn't that be nice? Lucky ducks. All right, we have the winner. What are they winning today?
The winner of today's general giveaway is going to be getting a prismatic furcorn in the color of their choice in
What-
My Singing Monsters
What
Dawn
an
of Fire.
excellent gift. So, winner, whoever you may be, make sure to send us your Dawn of Fire friend
Aha,
code.
this is important.
Yes, and if you don't have Dawn of Fire yet, what are you doing?
You should download it. Now's the time.
Every viewer of My Sing Monsters Live should definitely download Dawn of Fire. Check out the new update. It's so exciting.
It's better than ever.
It's way better than ever. Even if you used to play it, maybe stopped for a while, we definitely suggest you give it another chance because we might be doing even more Dawn of Fire giveaways.
Chances are there are monsters in there that you've never seen in My Sing Monsters as well. Yes, fire, hybrids, heretofore unknown.
And crafting is super different now. There's now farm structures that make every crafting item at once, so it's even easier.
And factories to sort of preserve the old mechanism for crafting structure production.
And all of your monsters, if you like My Sing Monsters, well, all of your monsters in Dawn of Fire now generate coins automatically, just
So you'll
like
get
My Sing
richer,
Monsters.
quicker.
Yes.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
give it a shot. So, to our winner, please send us your Dawn of Fire friend code. And our winner is...
You give me the drum roll, please. It is CJ Vibes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, CJ Vibes.
Let us know.
You get to win a prismatic fur coin of your choice.
So send us your Dawn of Fire friend code or BBBID, same thing. And don't forget to tell us which color you'd like.
That's right. You can choose from red, yellow, blue, purple, orange, or green.
And you might want to check on their rarities in game if you want to make it a slightly more tactical.
Yes, an informed choice.
Or you can just pick whichever one you think is the cutest.
That's right. Or maybe
That's
one
what I
that
would
you
do.
don't have yet if you've already started
Complete your
playing
collection.
Dawn of Fire 2.0.
Well, there we go.
Oh,
That's the show.
it's a wonderful life.
It is a wonderful life.
Here in the monster world. We're not in the monster world, but we get to talk about it.
Here in the
Yes,
monster world,
we get-
with the Invertigus Fern is right here
Yes,
live
we get
with
to
us.
we get to talk about it every week, and it's a lot of fun. But the other fun thing that we get to do at the end of every episode of My Sing Monsters Live is we get to play a composer piece for you all,
Our
and this
weekly
week is no
composer piece.
exception. This week we have this is a beautiful composition that I'm never sure whether or not we featured it before, but now it's getting its time to shine once again, even if it hasn't been done before. This is Waterfall Island by Cyborg Gator 98.
Lovely. And if you want to send us your own composer pieces, email them. Email the MSM file from the My Sing Monsters Composer app to community.bigbluebubble.com.
Community@bigbluebubble.com.
Yes, community@bigbluebubble.com. An email address.
Monster Handler Michael, you have a question before we see the composer piece?
Yes.
Yes.
Before we play the composer piece,
Yes.
we're actually going to run back the video we played at the beginning due to your request.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
because that's where my friend code is.
Is it?
Oh my.
Oh, no, sorry.
No.
The video at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this one definitely deserves a
Yes.
second viewing.
Is there any more you'd like to say about the composer piece before we do that?
It's a beautiful little piece called Waterfall Island, and I thought that it reminded me of the quite excellently done original score of the Faerie Island video that premiered this week.
That was very
So
lovely.
well done to Cybergator 98. Enjoy Waterfall Island, but first we're gonna play for you today's
A
opening
repeat.
bit of episode 58 of My Sing Monsters Live. We'll see you next week.
Happy monstering!
If you could make your very own monster, what would it be called, and how would it make sounds?
So, if I could make my own monster with absolutely no restrictions, I don't know what it would be called because I'm not good at names, but I would 100% use the bagpipes.
Oh, I like that
yeah.
a lot.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that is fun.
100% use the bagpipes.
100% use the bagpipes.
Bagpipes.
Bagpipes. Bagpipes. Bagpipes.
I
Oh,
like that
yeah.
a lot.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations!
I did it.
Thank you for watching. Us monster handlers really appreciate it. If you liked this episode and you want to see even more where that came from, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, and then you can stay tuned. Get it? Tuned? It's music humor. Anyways, happy monstering.